bad for 8,600 pounds. Well, I need to get my YouTube videos finished, so I guess I'll do this while I'm sitting here waiting on somebody. Video is of a buddy's 96 Ford F-250. It's a PowerStroke truck, and he asked to get some lighting upgrades. He was having trouble seeing at night, and as you'll see in the video, got over there, started to work on the truck, but got over there and started working on his truck and found out that the header panel was pretty severely broken. So I had to look around and find another header panel and header panel and put in the truck, and put his new lights in. And unfortunately, he was in a hurry. We had a lot of stuff going on, so there wasn't a lot of time to catch every little detail. So I've got kind of an overview of everything. But in the process, we added some auxiliary driving lights to his front bumper. Initially, I wired those into his high beams, and he didn't like that, so we changed it and put it on a switch in the interior. He had me replace all the light bulbs in all of the dash because he couldn't see anything. So got all that done and knocked out for him. And just stay tuned and watch the video. This is okay. Now, this is absolutely no fault of the owner, but as you can see, there's no mounting tabs left. It's all broken up through here. That light is completely shattered. The back's gone out of it. So before we get into a whole lot of trying to rig stuff up, I just called salvage yard to see if they had this plastic header panel, and they do. So we're going to probably go that route. I'm going to talk to the customer. Oh. All right, folks. Unfortunately, I was under a time crunch, so I didn't catch a lot of this on camera, but this morning I went and picked up a new header panel. Unfortunately, this one was just all to pieces. There's not really much of anything holding these lights in. You can see it's all broken out. There was nothing there. So I replaced it with one from a junkyard, and where I got the new headlights in, and this new turn signal here, because the turn signal that came off the truck was all to pieces. Here it is over here. Yeah, this is the turn signal that was on the truck, so there was no way to mount it back in, but we got that in. As you can see, the lights are in. Need some love on them, because it was done pretty quick, because he was wanting to leave the other day. I'm going to go pick up some new bulbs for the turn signals, and then I need to pick up some loom and loom this up before I put it all back in. One thing I will show you is I pulled the batteries out, so it made getting to the back of all this a lot easier. And I went ahead and put the better bulbs in while I had it out, so it wouldn't have to take a chance on touching anything. But there you go. Looks a whole lot better, and it's not even finished yet. All right, we've got the batteries back in. Just tested all the lights. All the lights work. I've got the wiring for the driving lights down here cleaned up. I've got this in a loom. It's exposed up here where it's connected, but in behind the battery, it's all on a loom everywhere where it's, I need to put a zip tie on that. But everywhere else, it's all loomed and safe. So we're going to put the grill in and then move on to the next part of all this. There it is, all buttoned back up. So let's turn headlights on, we'll turn the high beams on, and we'll turn bright lights on. There you go. All new lights all the way across the truck. All right. Little bit of re-engineering here. His tank switch fell out into the back of his truck and fell into the dash. And the way they come from the factory, they just screw onto a little tab on the back of this bezel, and both screws, both upper and lower screws, were no longer there. So what I did, I could get a little bit of a bite on the bottom screw. So I took my Sawzall and I cut a 90 out of the header panel there. Then I drilled a little hole over here into the other side of the dash. You'll be able to see this, but it's a black screw. And then I just flipped this screw over and screwed it on the back. So now it's plenty strong enough to sustain having the tank switched, and he didn't have to worry about it falling out and going down the road anymore. And then we mounted his driving light switch over here. Once again, time was of the essence, so we didn't catch everything, but we've got all new bulbs in the dash. Actually, we don't have any light over here. I need to look at that real quick before I put the dash back together. He is very, very happy with the truck. I've heard from him multiple times. We had one little issue and that is apparently when I pulled the batteries out of the truck, it reset the computer, and the next day it started really hard in the cold. But after he drove it a little bit, no more issues. It started up and worked just fine. So I think that issue was just a matter of driving it and letting the computer relearn. But he's very happy. He can see at night. He likes having the auxiliary lights on his front end of his truck. And we've already started discussing possibly putting some auxiliary lights on the back end of his truck so he can work and see trailers when he's hooking up at night. Got something in my eyes driving me crazy. So that may be coming up in another video as we put in some lights in the back of the truck. But thank you for watching, and subscribe and like below.